melodies floating in the air. Tanya and Lamont, we're a musical pair. R&B vibes, smooth and sweet. Our podcast is where the love will meet. Voices intertwining, full of desire. Hours and music set your heart on fire. Pop sensibilities, catchy and bright. We'll serenade you through the night. Love in stereo, tune into our show. We'll take you to places you've never known. With R&B beats and pop melodies, Tanya and Lamont, we aim to please. We aim to please. Melodies floating in the air. Tanya and Lamont, we're a musical pair. R&B vibes, smooth and sweet. Our podcast is where the love will meet. Voices intertwining, full of desire. Hours and music set your heart on fire. Pop sensibilities, catchy and bright. We'll serenade you through the night. Love in stereo, tune into our show. We'll take you to places you've never known. With R&B melodies floating in the air. Tanya and Lamont, we're a musical pair.
What's up, visionary?
What's good?
Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I'm Tanya, and I'm joined by my wonderful husband.
Lamont?
And we hope you're doing well as usual.
As usual.
Hope you had a great week.
Yeah.
How about that Mike Tyson fight?
Crazy.
What did y'all think? I think for a 58-year-old, he did pretty good. I mean, you know.
I don't know. I don't know I ain't know Mike Tyson had a bitophobe like this.
Yeah, me neither.
That's why good Holyfield is.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good distraction in the fight. Because he was biting on his gloves. I thought he was like I thought he had dentist in and the dentist was falling out, but he was biting his glove the whole time.
Yeah. So that could have been a distraction, but the other thing was that leg.
Yeah.
Just that getting old. Yeah. Jake Paul, I hope you feel good for fighting a 58-year-old. Beating a 58-year-old. Nah. Okay, but so Lamont and I have been doing 30 days of helping you all go from conflicts to connections.
If you've been watching the video, some people know it all, so they don't need no help.
If that's you, then this isn't for you.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
If it's not, then this is for you.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't know, Lamont and I, we are on a mission to help couples go from conflict to connection, and just save some marriages, teach you how to date right. Not teach you, but tell you some of our life experiences and coach experiences just to help you, do some of the things that we did right in our relationships and help you know and be able to recognize some of the conflict, that
arose in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I know many couples like us face the same thing.
Yeah. So that's why we're here. Okay. So we all about relationships, and today is no exception.
Yeah.
Today we gonna talk about losing love.
Stop losing love.
Yeah, over misunderstandings. Yeah, and how to fix it before it's too late.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that going on, a lot of misunderstandings going on, and a lot of the time it don't even derive from. Well, it derives from us, but it comes from like misunderstandings. From text.
Yeah.
From different things. So we're gonna break it down.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit on this, and without further ado.
Yeah. And we know that relationships are all about communication. And if we can't communicate properly, inside of the relationship, that we're not going to be able to build the relationship. We end
Yeah.
up being in situationships.
Yeah. Situationship, the things go downhill,
And
and they
south
go
fast.
downhill fast.
Yeah.
So in this presentation, we're going to unpack why, we sometimes completely miss the mark
Yeah.
when talking to each other and how we can fix it
Yeah.
without the eye rolls,
Yeah.
without the madness, without the defensiveness.
Yeah.
Okay, so great relationships always happen when we actually understand each other.
Yeah. And I know that's how our relationship started. And I'm sure many healthy relationships start with understanding.
hmm And also, like really, we get where the other person is coming from, but no, actually, we don't get where the other person
Yeah.
is coming from, and that's what actually caused these misunderstandings. Okay, so we need to learn to communicate with a little extra care and
And
empathy.
empathy. Yeah.
Yes.
And empathy is really the glue that's going to really build the bridge to understanding in a
hmm
relationship.
Yeah.
Without empathy, we just individuals who want to be selfish. You don't care about nobody else but ourselves.
hmm
So empathy is going to bridge that gap so we can start understanding each other better, so we can really communicate better.
Yeah, showing empathy is important in a whole bunch of communication in life because, like, when you're training for, like, say, a stay-at-home job where you
Yeah.
got to do customer service, they put empathy in you so hard, like empathy. That changes the
Yeah.
whole trajectory of the phone call,
Yeah.
of how the customer feel, whether they're gonna come back, So
Yeah.
yeah,
Take your feelings out and put empathy in.
yeah, because relationships are you have to have customer service.
Yeah. You got to be able to relate. And
Yeah.
relate is all about empathy. You
hmm
can't relate to nobody if you don't have empathy.
Yeah.
Understand where they're coming from. It's
Yeah.
all about relations.
Yeah. So the truth is, most misunderstandings happen when we assume things.
Mm.
We don't listen well, and we think we do, or we think we have the conflict resolution skills that need, that can solve everything. But in fact, they need tune-ups.
Yeah. We think we know what we don't know.
Yeah, we
And
kind of
what
know
we
it
don't
all.
know hurt us. And the Bible says, my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge.
Mm. Yeah. Here's the good news, though, with a few handy tools, conversation tools and tricks, we can stop little stuff from snowballing into big old drama.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate with drama in our life with mishaps in communication and
hmm
understanding.
Yeah. The goal of this presentation that Lamont and I are about to do
Yeah.
is to arm you with the practical tools so you can have smoother, more rewarding relationships, whether it's with your coworkers, friends, or people you love. These things go into all areas of
Yeah.
your life with all relationships.
Yeah.
Like misunderstanding, communication. Once you learn how to communicate, you know how to communicate not only with your partner but with everybody.
Yeah. But we're gonna start with your partner because that's the
hmm
one that's really need the bridge to connect with.
Yeah. Okay. So let's make connections easier and
Yeah.
maybe even a little fun.
Yeah.
Let's dive in. Now, why do miscommunications happen? We all make assumptions about others without realizing it. These unfolded assumptions can lead
The
to
misunderstanding.
misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our past experiences and personal biases shape how we perceive and interpret the message that we perceive.
Yeah. And this can create barriers and clear communication.
hmm
We cannot communicate because all this bias.
Yeah, so again, because that's so important, our past experience and personal biases shape how we perceive and interpret the message we receive. So, the things that we've been through is how we see new things,
Yeah.
like us bringing, old things that happen in our relationship into our new relationship.
Like trust issues,
Yeah.
insecure issues.
Or even like maybe even not emotional abuse, but verbal abuse
Yeah.
or something can cause a lot of misunderstanding in communications when you were verbally abused in the relationship before.
Yeah.
And you in a new one and you misunderstanding and misinterpreting and you biased. using bias when your partner is trying to communicate something to you. You thinking they one and the same people, or something.
And speaking of that, yeah, just like coming from an abusive relationship or a relationship where there was verbal abuse and stuff, then when we do get in conflict, we think automatically when that person is like talking loud and stuff like that, we automatically think that there's going to be conflict and toxicity with conflict every time.
Yeah, absolutely. So differences in culture, language, and personality can make it challenging to exchange ideas and exchange them effectively.
Yeah. We need to be more mindful of these differences.
Yeah. Strong emotions like anger or defensiveness can cloud our ability to communicate clearly and listen actively.
Yeah.
It's important to stay calm and focused.
Because when we don't stay calm and focused, then we're ultimately going to get emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
And the constructive conversation goes out the door.
Yep. It's a goner. The key is to be aware of the common causes of miscommunication and make a conscious effort to overcome the situations with empathy, active listening, and clear expressions.
Because what we're not aware of, we can't change it. Whatever we're unaware of, we can't change it. So the first thing is to be aware of why communications happen.
Yeah, and that's because of assumptions, perceptions, differences,
and emotions.
Yep. We often make quick judgments about others without even trying to understand their perspective.
Yeah, and this can lead to conclusions and us just jumping in. We not even knowing their motive or intention of what they're really trying to say or their interpretation.
Yeah, we often have a tendency to seek out and interpret information in a way that we confirm,
just to confirm
that
we
believe.
Know.
Yeah, like what he said is what I believe.
Yeah. What he said, I don't care what he said, but
yeah,
what he said, I'm gonna believe what I want to believe.
Whatever. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. This confirmation bias can blind us from alternative viewpoints, so we always think in one way.
Yeah, which is the empathetic viewpoint. We need to be for our partner.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Relying on stereotypes and oversimplified categories can cause us to make unfair generalizations about individuals, failing to see their unique qualities. So we so busy caught up in what we perceive and what we interpret that we're bringing, like, say, old relationship situations and communication into new relationships, and we're judging them based off that. So
what we done seen in the past.
Right. So we're actually not even able to see how unique this person actually is, because we still stuck in the past with those communication perceptions, and biases. Yep. So sometimes we project our own thoughts, feelings, and motives on the others, distorting our understanding of why they or
where they come from.
Where they're coming from. All right.
And being aware of these tendencies that we seem to do is the first step in overcoming these and developing a more black and white, empathetic perspective of other people. There are 4 barriers of effective communication. When these barriers are in place, it's going to be hard for us to effectively communicate with each other. These 4 barriers of communication are different love languages, conflict expectations, and emotional baggage that we come into a relationship with. And one of the biggest is lack of quality time. We don't spend enough time with each other.
Yeah. Quality time, not quantity time. When partners express and receive love in different ways, it can be hard to understand each other.
Yeah.
So recognizing each other's love language is very important.
Yeah.
And couples often have different expectations about communication, roles, and priorities in their in their relationships, and this causes conflict expectations.
Yeah. Unresolved emotional baggage is another big one. And past hurt can make it difficult for couples to actually communicate openly and honestly with each other without any conflict.
Yep. Making like my baby said, having Emotional baggage. Lack of quality time comes when couples don't make time for meaningful conversations and connection.
Yeah.
It erodes the intimacy in the relationship.
And you begin to just having sex and not
Yeah.
intimacy.
Yeah.
And
it's,
sex
it's
don't
totally
don't make
different.
the relationship last.
Yeah. Totally different. Addressing the barriers is crucial for building strong, healthy communication in romantic partnerships.
Yeah, we got to.
It's also just as important to recognize the nonverbal cues and their impact on your relationship.
Those gonna be the biggest cues that we need to recognize is nonverbal, because a lot of things gonna be you gonna see it before you hear it.
Yeah,
You can see
absolutely.
a person mad or somebody frustrated before they even open their mouth. You already know it's about to be on.
Yeah. Facial expressions are powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, the changes in the eyes, changes in the mouth, and even the brow can reveal a person's
Whoa.
true feelings,
You know,
even if they're trying to hide them.
sometimes you got that eyebrow to somebody, boy, them eyebrows tell a
They
lot,
tell
boy.
a story. Oh boy. Body language is just as important.
Yep.
The posture, gestures, and all over demeanor convey underlying attitudes and emotions that may not come across in just words alone.
Yeah. Actions speak. A picture is worth 1,000 words. That's looking at somebody is worth a lot more words.
Yeah, body language tells a lot.
Yeah. And when
Really.
we open our mouth, that tone of our voice is a whole nother story, layer of nuance, the meaning to the what we trying to say.
Yep. The pitch, the volume, and the inflection can dramatically change the message. So if you yelling, or even if you quiet and timid, it
Yeah.
changes,
It says a lot.
yeah, it changes how we, take what you're saying.
And whenever we able to read these nonverbal cues
Hmm.
with our partner, we able to effectively communicate. Because, like I said, communication is not just words; it's everything.
Yeah.
Everything goes into communication, and the more we are, like I said, the more aware we are able to read these signs before we open our mouth, we'll be able to better interpret and communicate and understanding with someone we really love and truly think about.
Yeah. I cannot say this enough.
No, you can't.
Active listening is crucial for effective communication, and not only that, for effective understanding.
Yeah. If you didn't hear it, you're not gonna properly understand what the
No,
person's
there's
saying.
no way.
There's no
It's
way.
not possible.
No.
Okay, so the key strategies are
To use your two ears
right.
instead of that one mouth.
Yeah. And then you can clarify after you listen, though.
Yeah.
Then you can clarify if you don't understand it a lot and like listen to
Not to
actively.
respond, but
Yeah.
listen to understand. People, I tell you, man, this is probably. I know this might be cliche. You people hear this a lot, but this may probably be the most effective communication skill that you can learn is to actually effectively actively listening to what the person is saying, so you don't just open your mouth ready to go off assumptions and everything else about what you think they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then because if you don't actively listen, then you're gonna misinterpret what that person said, and you just cause conflict, or you get your feelings got in play when it wasn't even that serious.
Yep. So clarify, then reflect, then engage. Key strategies right there.
So you can hear the speaker's intention and avoid making assumptions about what you think they said.
Yep.
And if you need to, ask thoughtful questions to assure you fully understand what they're saying.
Yep.
You can even paraphrase,
Yep.
so you know that you're comprehending what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's time for you to respond with empathy and openness to continue the dialogue. Don't get all loud and all out of start raising the tone, because like we said, when the tone of the conversation starts to get up, the conversation is gonna start going away. We're no longer in the constructive criticism mode. Constructive conversation mode. We're in conflict mode.
Yeah. And don't get it twisted. Just because you master one, you need to kind of master all of these strategies for
Yeah.
active listening. So habit stack them.
Yeah.
Okay, habit stack them.
Maybe you need to work on just hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to work on maybe just clarifying.
Yeah.
Then maybe you need to work on reflecting.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, that then this picture also represents somebody actually looking at the person that they're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes one of the biggest barriers of hearing what the person's saying is we're not even looking at the person. We're looking at something else, and then we automatically going hearing out of one ear and making assumptions off that one ear, and then not even letting the communication go from one ear to the next ear, so we can actually process it in both our ears. That's why we got two ears.
Yeah, and
It's
then
called processing one ear and not one ear out the other, one ear and keep it in the middle so we can process it. Then it come both ears, then it come out of our mouth, and we able to communicate effectively.
and if you're a couple like Lamont and I, the way we receive things are different. Lamont can be like walking around the house and he got a video on or something, he listening to something, he catches it, he grasps it. But me, I can be like, doing the same thing and I ain't heard nothing. He be like, you hear that? I'm like, nope. So I kind of got to be looking, sitting down in that attention,
Yeah.
to really fully grasp what's going on.
Yeah.
Or, take it in.
Yeah, and like I said, we also did the other video about give your partner time to respond. In their time, they process the time, they process information in. But like I said, sometimes instead of you actively listening, you that's why it's good when you act listen that you take the time and process the information in the way that you need to process the information. Don't jump on trying to have a quick conversation that can turn to an altercation with your partner if you're not quick on your thoughts like that.
Yeah.
Take the time to process so you can actually listen and hear your partner out and clarify what they're fully saying to you.
Yeah.
Instead of making assumptions.
So knowing these things is important. It's important for you to know yourself when it comes to that, and also for you to know your partner.
Yeah.
Resolving conflicts through empathy is a powerful approach that can lead to better outcomes for everybody involved.
Yeah.
The first step is to validate your emotions of the other person.
Yeah.
Acknowledge how they feeling without judging them.
Yeah.
This helps them feel heard and understood.
Yeah. Moving to the customer service role. Like I said, relationships are about customer service, man. And if we can apply that customer service mentality inside our relationship, it's just validating our part. And where it presents itself in our relationship is simply validating our partner's emotions. Validating our partner's emotions is customer service inside the relationship.
Yeah.
Don't brush them off or don't validate them so quickly and then throw them back and not really validate them. You just acknowledging and validating is two different things. So we got to validate, not just acknowledge. We must validate our partner's feelings.
Next, seek to understand the root causes of any of the conflict.
And what that calls for is to actively listen so we can uncover the real issues and concerns of our partner.
Yeah.
Actively listening so we can uncover the real issues and concerns of our partner so we can validate their emotions.
Yeah. Some things just bear repeating.
Yeah.
And that was one that really needed it. But we can also look for common ground.
We got to.
Okay, so identify shared interests and goals that serves as a foundation for resolution.
For a solution, yeah.
Yeah.
And this common ground will provide the starting point to begin the problem solving to get to the root of the conflict that we're in or whatever conflict you may be in.
Yeah. Then next, you want to collaborate to generate mutual beneficial solutions.
Yeah. Work together to find a resolution that addresses the needs and concerns of both parties so we can both feel heard and understood.
It's kind of like what you were saying today. You validating and stuff, but you want to come back with a solution. You never want to just, not have a solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All problems. If there's a problem we do got to realize that 70% of problems are perpetual, unsolvable. But the 30% of which we can solve, we need to solve them if they're solvable.
Yeah.
In a collaboratory way.
Yeah. Well, so just work together to find a resolution that addresses the needs and concerns for both parties. Approach conflict with empathy and problem solving that can transform your mindset and situations into opportunities for growth and understanding.
I would actually say one of the most important things and one of the most critical things that we can do inside our relationship to cultivate open communication is to be the change we seek. Too often we want our partner to do this and do that and change this and change that. But I can tell you this, man, if you want your relationship, if you want to actually build a healthy, thriving, connected relationship, then you must be the change you seek and lead by example.
Yeah. You must also foster emotional safety, encourage feedback, and embrace your differences.
Yeah,
As partners, it's important that we lead by example
yeah,
and openly communicate our thoughts and feelings with each other. This sets the tone for the relationship,
yeah, yeah.
creating an environment of emotional safety where both parties feel comfortable. Being vulnerable
Yeah.
is crucial.
Yeah, and we want to be able to express ourselves without fear of judgment from our partner. Because when fear of judgment come our partner come in, we don't want to express what we really feel or how we really feeling inside the relationship.
Yeah. So regularly checking in and asking for feedback on how we can improve our communication and connection is also key.
Did you hear what she said? She said regular feedback. So that means you got to get checked. You got to check yourself.
Yeah.
Your partner got to check you.
Yeah, your partner gotta check you anyway. I mean, it's customer service. You be wanting feedback when you got a
Yeah,
business. You love feedback.
yeah.
That helps you what
Grow
and
and
what
improve customer service.
right and correct.
Yeah, and correct problems that may arise
Yeah,
because you get
like
feedback
give
from
me that feedback.
and you get feedback from your partner that's going to help you
Improve.
improve.
Yep.
But if you don't get feedback from your partner, then y'all not going to improve the relationship.
Yeah.
So you got to be. I think one of the key things that we can grab from this is you got to be able to take constructive criticism. It's also one of the roles of cultivating open communication in your relationship.
Yeah. It's just gonna help us continue to grow and also strengthen our bond with one
Yeah.
another. So embrace the unique perspective and communication style that each of you bring as a strength. Okay.
Yeah.
Celebrate differences that can deepen our understanding and appreciation for one another.
Yes, it can.
And this has been another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. We hope that you got some value out of this and
Yeah.
now understand how not to lose love
Mhm.
over misunderstandings
Yeah.
because misunderstandings are solvable.
Yeah. And misunderstanding will keep that man running out at night. Won't make bring that man home.
Yeah.
He
Or
gonna
that woman.
Yeah, or that woman. Yeah.
This has caused too much
Yeah.
conflict.
And nobody would say it's better to be on the top of the house than in the house with a nagging wife or a nagging husband.
You better say it, but especially a nagging wife.
Yeah.
We know how to get to the Gizzle team.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section.
Yes, yes.
We love to answer them.
Yeah. Be sure to like, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. We need your help getting to 1,000.
And let us know your takeaways.
Yes,
What's on? We love it. Like I said, love
we love to know.
Yep.
They have vision.
it together.
They build the
The
life that they love. Go
Go
build.
build.
See you on the next one.